under their ass is just too hot.
It is.
So,
Well, it is
we'll
the morning
see.
brew, though, of course, and we've got all kinds of hot takes for you, whether it be under your ass or wherever it is. we've got the hotness for you this morning. We're excited about it, to say the least. A lot of great things to get to, of course. We're going to be joined a little bit later on by Noelle Alberto to briefly look at some of the great news in the tennis world. Serena Williams is pregnant, apparently. Apparently won a major title, and she was 12 weeks pregnant because #women power, I guess. Good Lord, Serena. Like, I can't believe that. Good for her. And among other things as well, too, will be taking place. But we'll get to Alberto in just a little while. But, of course, before we do all of that, we do have 2 questions that we're asking people as well today on the Morning Brew. 2 very simple questions. Nothing to do, well, one has to do with sports. But one, will you drink the Starbucks unicorn drink?
Ugh.
And should players be required to attend the White House visits? This is coming off of the back how 6 of the big notable players, 7 rather, if you count Tom Brady of the New England Patriots, didn't attend the White House visit yesterday for them winning the Super Bowl. So we want to hear from you guys this morning. Your 2 thoughts. I mean, it can be as simple as yes and no. I mean, as in-depth as you want it to be. Let us know your thoughts in your comments. We see a bunch of you already chiming in, so of course we will get to your comments in just a little bit. So some great stuff right off the bat, though, from all of you amazing people. A very good morning to all of you. It's great to see all of you. Jaymee, I believe it's time for some What's Brewing business here right off the bat this morning. What all is brewing this morning in the sports world?
I don't really usually like to start off on a negative note.
Oh.
But I think I'll just get it out of the way because it's probably the only negative thing we have to talk about today.
I think so.
A 17-year-old race car driver loses both of his legs from below the knee in a crash.
Wow.
So he was a Formula 4, race in the UK on Sunday, and he has since had both of his legs amputated.
Oh, my Lord. So
You get your license at 16 out, like 1 year later?
that's...
I mean, I'm sure he's been driving for a
I
long
can't even
time,
imagine that, honestly. I mean, Formula One is such an exciting but also incredibly dangerous sport at the same time. So, I mean, losing both of your legs. I mean, I freaked out when I broke my ankle and broke my arm, and I was like, oh my God, like my life is over. But it's like I can't imagine losing
both of your
limb.
legs?
No, I didn't bring both. You're saying like as a general question?
No, you.
Oh no. I'm saying when I broke my arm, when I broke my ankle. I'm saying. Like,
Separate times.
Yeah, not at the same time. No,
gotcha.
not at the same time. Like, anyway. Even that was difficult to recover from, but I can't even imagine being like, all right, off with your legs.
Right.
Like, that just seems unfathomable
both
to me.
of them? Ooh.
No, thank you.
He's just so young. And this is like, obviously he was like a good driver.
Right.
Like, because he's 17, and now he can't drive.
My gosh.
Which sucks. Poor guy.
It does. It really does suck, honestly. People are already chiming in this morning on Facebook. So first of all, a very good morning to all of you. Let's see some comments coming. Jeff says, good morning. Josh says, Preds game day. Yeah, absolutely.
Yay.
Bruce says, good morning. Happy 420. Oh, we've got some 420 facts for you coming up in just a moment. Don't forget about that. Allison says, good morning. Happy Thursday. Caleb says, good morning. My gosh. Jesse says, man, 5 a.m. Damn. Is Jesse on the West Coast, I'm assuming? I don't know what 5 a.m. has to do with anything.
I don't know.
Jesse, what does 5 a.m. have to do with anything? I thought you were... Yeah, Jesse lives in Vegas, but still, it's only 6 a.m. over there, Jess. Unless I just don't know my time zones. But anyway, I don't know. Jess, figure that out. Let us know. Caleb says Serena equals the GOAT. Yes, 1,000%. Good morning to Tiana, who's chiming in. Sarah as well. Caleb, Brew. Heather says no and no. Okay, maybe and no.
I know. When I saw her first comment of saying no, I was like, okay, we will try it. I know her.
We're asking the questions this morning. If you're just tuning in, will you drink the Starbucks unicorn drink? And should players be required to attend the White House visit? So we'll dive into both of those a little bit more as the show goes on. But we do want to hear from you, your thoughts this morning. Josh says no on both accounts. I mean, I feel like we should probably just talk about the Starbucks drink at this point. I mean, you've seen it, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah,
I'd be foolish to feel like you haven't seen it.
Right.
You're a well-traveled enough gal to know what a Starbucks drink
it doesn't look that
looks.
nice on my timeline from the 8 million people that are trying it. And, ugh.
So I've actually been challenged by a good friend of ours, Aaron, to drink one on air. I couldn't get one this morning on my way for this show, but I will drink one today on halftime, because what's more fun than being humiliated by Tanner at halftime when, that's all that really is going to entail, honestly. But I'm interested to try it. Visually it looks fun. And maybe that just makes me a weird person. I mean, because it's like tangy and tart, and it almost sounds like a Sour Patch Kid where, first they're sour, then they're sweet kind of thing. Like, it looks pretty. Like, it looks like a nice piece of art. You're like, okay. But, I mean, do they all
you
look like that? Probably not,
No.
because, Jess at my local Starbucks isn't going to be able to make this, where Karen, God freaking Karen, up in Seattle, I'm sure makes a great one. Damn you, Karen.
Yesterday I saw some wet sidewalk.
Wet sidewalk?
Like what was once a wet sidewalk, and someone put, Jim loves Karen. I was like, get it out.
Should have been like, no, he doesn't. Get out of here.
Funny. But anyways, back to the thing. It's not appealing to me.
It's not appealing at all to you?
And I don't want to drink something tart.
Well, that's the big thing, too. I mean, when it comes to that, Tiana says, yes, I want to try the unicorn drink today. Okay, Tiana, I mean, more power to you, honestly. I mean, I really want to know, if you have had it already, did you like it? Because some people, as you mentioned, was just loitering your timeline yesterday. And you obviously roll with different people than I do. And I didn't see anybody posting about this yesterday. No.
Some people owned up. They're like, yeah, I got this just so I could put on my Instagram.
And that's what I'm wondering. Yeah, because that's like the easiest Instagram post.
Right. I have one friend who has 3 kids, and they all got it together. Cute.
Wow.
But
disgusting. Come on, stop being so cute, guys.
But not your
traditional thing.
White chocolate mocha or my iced caramel macchiato.
Girl after my own heart. The white chocolate mochas are always for the win.
So good.
No matter what. Love white chocolate mochas.
Heather, you should pick some up for lunch today or for work today.
Yes.
Not the unicorn one.
I completely agree with you on that one. Oh my gosh. So more people chiming in as well too. I mean, this is amazing. The fact that people are so passionate about this kind of stuff. Nick says, love your shirt, Chica. There you go.
Thanks, Nikki.
Get it. Jeff chiming in as well too. Good to see you, Jeff. Thanks for jumping in this morning. I feel like we always have to distinguish between Jeff and Jeff. Geoff. Jeff. Or Jeffrey. Maybe I should just start calling him Jeffrey. Tiana saying, yes, I want to try unicorn drink. Need to stop there today. Brew says, no unicorn yet. Contemplating it, though. And, yes, they have a job they get paid for, so do it. Referencing players that should be required to go to the White House. And I'm curious. Like I said, we'll talk about it in just a little bit.
Okay.
But it is. Oh, Jesse says he's in Vegas time. We're 3 hours behind. Well, we're on Central time technically here because we're here in Milwaukee, I guess.
So only 2.
So technically, you're only 2 hours behind us, bro. So it's. I guess, well,
bro him?
Still 5. I did bro him. Josh says I'd add vodka to the thingy there, the Starbucks unicorn drink. I've already forgot what it's called to make it to go down easier. Would that make it better though? I'm gonna have to try it normally, and then I'm gonna have to find vodka. This is Brew Sports. We find alcohol all over the place. I was packing my lunch this morning, and God forbid we have a freaking cider in the fridge here in the studio. We don't. So I brought a cider from home, and I'm like, no other job can I bring alcohol to work and it be publicly acceptable. It's amazing.
True.
This is America.
True.
This is the land of opportunity. And Jesse says, yeah, only an hour of in honor of Brew Sports. My gosh, I'm excited about this. We've got a lot of fun stuff to get to. I want to get to Noel here in just a moment, but there was some other funny things that took place. So speaking of the White House, if you haven't seen this yet, Rob Gronkowski and the Patriots were there yesterday because Tom Brady did not go. Like I said, we'll get into all that in just a little bit. But Rob Gronkowski doing Rob Gronkowski things. And you have been very vocal about your thoughts and feelings about Big Rob. But there was this hilarious video. If you've yet to see this, I wanted to pull it up and show you guys how he decided to help out. For those of you that are in the political circles, you know that Press Secretary Sean Spicer or Spencer, or however in the world you say his name, I don't even know if he knows how to pronounce his last name, has come under fire at times for the things he says and half-truths and whatever, all that stupid stuff. So in traditional Rob Gronkowski fashion, he decided to swing by the presser yesterday and see if, just take a look. This little kid comes out like, okay, yeah, that was kind of cool. Like, I mean, very rarely does Rob Gronkowski bust into your workplace and be like, you good? You good? Like, you need some help, man? Like, you all right? Oh my gosh, thought that was absolutely hilarious. There was one other thing too that I wanted to talk about as well. You brought this up, at least in the show notes. We're going to talk about tennis with Noelle in just a moment, but there was a very unique opportunity and experience that took place down in Sarasota for the Sarasota Open. Can you tell me a little bit more about this?
Yeah, they were playing obviously a tennis match.
Wait a minute, what?
Said. And in the middle of it, there were some adult activities taking place.
Oh my!
That were quite loud.
And I think the key part about this is not the activities that were taking place, but it's the commentary. That goes along with it.
Right, from not only the announcer, but
from the player as well too.
Yeah.
Take a listen and take a look here. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Yeah, at one point they were actually like hitting tennis balls towards. So from what I understand by it is that, and our expert analysis in all of this is that there was where the Sarasota Open was taking place, there was an apartment across the lake from where they were playing. But apparently it was so loud and rowdy that it was echoing across the lake. And I mean, we're up north here. We've been by lakes too. I mean, if you yell from one side of the lake to the other, you usually can hear it. I mean, so when you're doing such rigorous activities as what they were doing, I mean, it makes sense why that was carrying so much. But it's like, it was just kind of funny that the announcer, I just picture this very like prim and proper announcer be like, my Lord, like what is going on? Like this is so uncharacteristic of what is taking place at a tennis match. My goodness. But speaking of tennis, one of our tennis insiders and correspondents, Noel Alberto, is here with us this morning. Noel, a very good day to you, sir. Welcome to Brew Sports. How are you? Doing well, Noel. It's great to have you. First and foremost, Noel, kind of, I'm sure you just heard what we were talking about with the whole Sarasota Open thing. Do you have any other expert analysis on what took place out there? Yeah, Exactly. Between Francis and the announcer both being, like, what is going on? Like, that I think seals the deal for me, honestly. But, Noel, the big thing we want to talk about in the tennis world, of course, there's a couple of majors coming up this weekend, but we'll get to that in a moment. We found out yesterday that the Iron Woman, the GOAT, as many call her, Serena Williams, is pregnant. So a very exciting time for her. She reveals that she's 20 weeks pregnant, but the more mind-blowing thing, in my opinion, is that she won her last major when she was 12 weeks pregnant. Like, dear God, what? Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the funny part about when it comes to the Twitter universe sometimes, that they can make the best jokes out of the funniest and sometimes least harmful situations as well, too. But, Noel, I know that there's a couple of big things coming up this weekend. The Monte Carlo Masters, of course, are taking place, and the FedEx Cup semifinals also. Talk to me about the Monte Carlo Masters briefly here, because we know that Nadal and Djokovic and Murray and every other big man and woman known to the tennis world is going to be there. What can we expect from this, and are there any front runners in this tournament?
Could you explain the FedEx Cup a little bit more to those of us who don't really understand it or know what it is?
Oh, okay. They've been just dominating, basically, for the last 7 years here. Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's what you want to see, of course. And the dynasty of Czech Republic, will they be able to continue their run of success, of course? And I mean, I know tennis is one of those things that I like to play, recreationally with my wife and some good friends. But for those of you, like you and others out there that are just obsessed with the tennis world, I mean, this is an exciting time to be alive, that's for sure, with the dynasty that is the Czech Republic, of course, and then now the U.S. trying to still keep up with without the Williams sisters, of course, as you mentioned as well too. But Noelle, we got to keep moving on with the show, but we appreciate you swinging by for a little bit this morning. Where can people find you on social media to keep up with the latest tennis and sports news from yourself? That's amazing. Awesome, Noelle. Thanks for swinging by this morning, sir. Great to see you. Yep. You as well, Noelle. Thank you. So there goes Noelle Alberto, one of our tennis experts and insiders here on the Morning Brew this morning. Checking through some things this morning as well. To remember, we are asking the two questions this morning, Jaymee, of will you drink the Starbucks unicorn drink? And, of course, should players be required to attend the White House visits after they win a championship? So I think we can actually get into this stuff now because people have been chiming in a lot, which I think, number one, is amazing. So thank you to all of you amazing people that have been chiming in here. So I'm going to go back through here. Yeah, Jeff, I got to figure out a different way to reference Jeff and Jeff because we have Jeff Scheibe that tunes in, but we have Jeff Childs as well, too. And I always feel like people are like, why do you always talk about Jeff? I'm like, okay, there's numerous Jeffs. Jeff Childs, the other Jeff, the Geoff, gives me the ha-ha, so he understands. I mean, I'm sure that has to have happened to you before, Jeff. And people are like, oh, this is Jeff and this is Jeff, but this is G-E. Like, can I call you Geo? Like G-E-O? Like, what up, Geo? No? Can I call him Off? Because it's Joff? What do I call him? How are people supposed to know?
I don't know.
You're useless to me this morning.
I know.
You need a Starbucks
maybe
unicorn.
His last name.
Just call him Childs.
Yeah.
What up, Childs?
I like that, actually.
How you doing, Childs? Good to see you. Thomas says, good morning from Germany. My goodness, we're hitting international. You know who we haven't had on in a long time? My best friend.
Simon.
No, Ance O'Leary.
Oh.
My buddy from New Zealand. For those that watch the show consistently, we had a guy on from New Zealand, just was watching the show, and his name was Ance O'Leary, and he's from New Zealand, and I'm like, my God, you are the coolest person ever. And I was thoroughly entertained, and I've been obsessed with him. And Jamie's like, "Would you stop with the Ance O'Leary?" You drop it.
I've dropped it. You just brought it back up.
We love Ants. But yeah, Thomas here watching from Germany. Yeah, Brew is apparently helping people out in the comments with basic math here this morning about 7 a.m. minus 2 or 7 minus 2 equals 5 a.m. in Vegas time. So I did catch up on that. Jesse also says that he thinks that. Jesse was just correcting himself, saying, "Oh, my bad. Didn't realize that you guys were here on the Central Time Zone." No worries at all. We love you all, still the same. Just some of you a little bit more than others. So don't worry. That's how I tell all my children that, even though I have just one child. It's irrelevant. Anyway, my wife's not pregnant. We're not going to start that rumor. Anyway, a couple other great comments. So people are starting to chime in about the White House visits, and I think that's something we should talk about as well too now. So if you haven't heard, as we mentioned earlier in the show, I think it's 7 players opted to not go to the White House for the presidential visit. Basically, after you win a championship in the United States. In any major level, Division I or professional sports, sorry, D3 schools and D2 schools, we don't care about you, unfortunately. Although I actually don't know if that's the truth or not. I've never actually seen, but I also don't know officially, so I'm not going to go on the record to say that. But players and coaches and the whole staff go to the White House, and they get honored, and they usually give the president a jersey, and that's beautiful and lovely. But players opted out to go to this, and this started to prompt the question of whether or not it should be required for players to go. And I wanted to get your thoughts about this, Jaymee, because we already have a ton of comments that we're going to get to, but I want to get your thoughts about this.
I think that they don't need to go if they don't want to. I understand that they are role models and they're looked up to and they're important people and people value their opinions and by, someone looking up to Tom Brady, I'm pretty sure, aren't Tom Brady and Donald Trump friends?
Supposedly. They're, I mean, isn't everybody Donald Trump's friend?
Right.
I mean...
So
they're the best of friends.
So I don't know if we can sit here and be like, they didn't go, so they don't support him or whatever. If someone is, even though they're an athlete and it's something that they don't believe in, I don't think that we should make them do that.
And I agree with you on that one, too. And I was listening to the radio this morning, too. Exactly. And they were talking, the ESPN radio was talking about how traditionally this is a very apolitical thing where it's like, listen, like there's no politics involved. Doesn't matter what side of the fence you fall on. You go because, oh, my God, it's the White House. You're getting invited to do such a thing.
Right.
I mean, I may or may not disagree with what President Trump does, but if we got invited to the White House, I'd be like, absolutely. Like, let's go. Like, it's one of the highest honors you can receive, honestly. And to turn something down like that, I think does make you look like a bad person, I feel like.
You think it does?
I think it does, personally, because I think that you're depriving yourself of the opportunity to be a positive role model.
Half of these people just went there a couple of years ago.
So what? There's rookies on the team every year. I mean, one of the guys, right. Malcolm Mitchell, got honored by President Trump in his speech, referencing the great play. Like, I would love that if I was a rookie. All of a sudden, like, oh my gosh, the president of the United States is mentioning me by my first and last name, like in a speech. Like, holy cow!
Yeah,
like,
but isn't it just
groundbreaking?
Like okay, so like you think that it's important that they go, but that's your opinion. It's their opinion that they don't want to go. They shouldn't have to go.
Correct. But I'm saying, should it be required to go though? And you're saying no, they shouldn't be.
Correct.
Okay. Fair enough. And I'm saying that they should, and in my opinion, I think they should be. Just based off of the fact that if you, as a team, have done that, I think that you should be required to go because I think it's setting a standard for the rest of the league and other players. And people have been opting out for a long time. And Tom Brady, ironic or not as it is, said he wasn't going to go yesterday because of a family matter. His mother was in town, who, as many folks know, has been battling cancer for the last 2 years. The only game she went to last year was the Super Bowl, and of course there was that very emotional scene at the end of the Super Bowl when Tom was hugging his mom at the ceremony, and people were crying, and it was beautiful and all that. So you understand, I understand a legitimate reason. But if you're trying to make this a political stance, like a lot of these guys are being like, oh, I don't agree with him.
Yeah, but you even said earlier in the show that it was just 7, important players. Like
it is.
You wouldn't care if it wasn't someone that wasn't.
I think you should still be required to go.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be a talk if
it
wasn't
absolutely not.
So then it shouldn't matter.
It's true. I mean, that's how it always works. I mean, of course, if it's a starter or someone that's of notable, social standing, of course, that's going to make a big difference, and people are going to want that person to go. Right. Why should it matter from the rookie? Why should it matter from Tom Brady, So I want to get to some of the comments because we've asked people to answer the question, and I think there's been some amazing answers. Drew here says, why force anyone to see the president? It is a peaceful way to protest. I don't see an issue with anyone's decision to start away from it. Also, hi, Jaymee.
Hi, Drew.
Hi, Drew. I'm here, too. Tiana says, players question. She says, yes, as a professional athlete, that is also a public figure and role model in so many facets. I think it's important to attend those events, whether they agree with whoever is in the office or not. They should fully understand it's about much, much more than a mere visit. And yes, that I do understand. And that's basically the same stance that I was coming from. So I'm glad Tiana and I are on the same boat on that one. I mean, like I said, I don't like President Trump. I'll be honest with you, okay? I'll come straight out and say I didn't vote for him, but at the same time, I mean, you still have to respect the man in power at the end of the day. I didn't vote for Barack Obama, but I still respect him.
By not going to the White House, they're not disrespecting him. They're just...
But that's how it appears, though. Like
To-
Tom Brady,
to who?
Tom Brady had a legitimate reason
To Donald Trump?
No, to the public. Donald Trump doesn't
I don't
care.
give a flying shit if they are
I
at the
know.
White House or not, and no one else should because it doesn't matter to you. Like, it does not affect you if Tom Brady goes to the White House or not. It doesn't matter.
That's true, but I feel
You're
like
not going to not be able to sleep at night. They're not losing games because Tom Brady didn't go to the White House.
Right.
A kid with cancer didn't die because Tom Brady didn't go to the White House. It doesn't matter.
Well, the big thing, I think, the reason that this is getting so blown out of proportion is because we are in this age right now where so many people are protesting what Donald Trump does, whether it be by sitting for the national anthem or doing all these other things that are showing how disunified America is at this point. So that's why something like this has been such a big issue, because this has been going on for 150 years. I mean, people have been, going and not going to the White House for a century,
Right,
because
so
that's
if
how
it's-
long they've been doing it. But it's because of this administration. This administration with President Trump is why so many people blow things out of proportion when it comes to Chris Long, LeGarrette Blount, and numerous others saying, no, I'm not going to go because I don't agree with him. It's one thing to just say, I just don't want to go.
Right.
I would have respected that. If LeGarrette Blount would have been like, I'm on a vacation with my family, I'm not going to go. Okay, great. Wouldn't even think a second of thought about it. But because these 6 or 7 guys came out and said, I don't agree with President Trump, that's why I'm not going, I think that's where I think a lot of people start to get more fired up about it, in my opinion.
But then people also would be fired if they were like, can't wait to go to the White House because I love Donald Trump. People would have something to complain about that too.
True. I mean, people always have something to complain about. That's the honest truth about it. So more comments here as well, too, about it. I love the fact that people are getting so fired up about this. Drew apparently also spelled your name wrong, by the way, earlier, so he was
I
going
saw
back to
that.
change that. Josh says, gives a whole new meaning to 15 love. Oh, yeah, it's absolutely right.
Yeah, a rubber match if they tie.
Sarah says, no, but if Heather is picking one up, I'll take an Americano. Oh, okay. So Sarah and Heather and you all, I'm assuming, work together from what I understand. So, and then Heather says, are you ladies seriously putting in your Starbucks order via the morning
Wait,
brew?
Sarah goes into what her thoughts though. She
Okay.
says there's a history of athletes skip, so she wants her Starbucks first, and then
Sarah,
she's gonna.
Heather,
chime
can
in.
I have one too?
She says there is a history of athletes skipping the White House. Personally, wouldn't miss it no matter who is in power, but the player's job probably includes a certain number of personal appearances, so they can probably bow out of some for various reasons.
Yeah, and I do agree with you on that one, Sarah. I mean, I don't feel like you're going to ever find the right happy medium on this. I think that, people, to my knowledge, were jazzed when Obama was the president because, of course, he was also an athletic president. So people were like, oh, my gosh, like he was playing basketball with LeBron. And Obama was, making fun of some guys as well, too, because he had that relationship. Nowadays, if Donald Trump would have made fun of Bill Belichick during his speech yesterday in a playful way, the media would have been like, Trump hates Belichick. Like, Obama
Right.
made fun of, I think, LeBron James and Steph Curry and stuff, and people were like, oh, Obama, you're such a kidder.
They also have different personalities, though,
Right,
so that's
exactly.
probably a huge thing.
No, I agree. Josh says, Baxter, what if you no longer are on the team? Would you require them to go? No, I would not, honestly. That's the one big thing. I mean, yes, you won the Super Bowl. I mean, there's 2 Cubs players that are no longer on the team from the World Series last year. They still got rings. That makes total sense. You should still get your ring. You won the championship. You deserve that. But the White House visit, I would not require it. I would leave the invitation open, being like, hey, guys, we're going. You were on the team. You helped us win the championship. If you want to come, great. If not, you're technically not a part of the team anymore, so no big deal.
Okay.
Totally up to you. So I would leave that. I would leave that open-ended. But seriously, though, Heather, I want Starbucks. This is not coffee. I would totally take more. Luis just gives me the thumbs up. And Luis says, don't mix sports with politics.
Maybe he gave me
agree.
the thumbs up.
Well, in general, though, maybe he gave everybody the thumbs up, okay? Thumbs up to you, Luis. But I do agree with you. That is the hard part about mixing sports and politics, which is what I don't like to do. I don't like talking about politics because I think it's a waste of time at times, unfortunately. Bruce says, well, if you have a good excuse, that's okay, like calling in sick. Otherwise, make the appearance if you are required via your contract. Is that going to be written into players' contracts nowadays, though? Like, not to my knowledge.
Right, guess we'll find out.
It's one thing to have appearances written into your contract, but does that mean like going to the children's hospital to see cancer patients is the same thing as going to the White House? Like, I don't feel like that's the same thing as an appearance. Like, you got invited to the White House. You are required to make an appearance at the local children's hospital. I would assume,
Maybe they just make it seem like an invite. Like, is it really an invite if they've been doing this for so long? Probably
well,
not.
that's the thing. I mean, well,
It's just expected.
right. And Roy Williams, too, the head coach of UNC, after they won the national championship, dodged questions about whether or not his team would go to the White House. So I think teams have declined or have not been invited before.
Yeah.
whether it's been on purpose or not.
Did you see yesterday? This is along the same topic of presidency and sports and whatever. Yesterday's, I think Jeff tagged us in something on Facebook, and it was like, remember, from Scott Walker, and he was like, remember when I gave Obama like a Brewers jersey and a Packers jersey, and no one had anything else to say about it? I don't really think it was the jersey that made people upset, but the hat.
Yeah, Scott Walker was stupid to do that.
Yeah, so people's argument about the Trump jersey versus the Obama jersey is irrelevant. It's the hat that's the issue.
Right.
It says make
the Bucks great again. Yeah.
Like, one, they're already not great, which they made to playoffs, which no one thought they would do. And two, Trump's whole reasoning behind that slogan is not great. If
no, exactly.
Not a white
powerful person.
Yeah,
exactly. Jesse does finally give us his opinion after all of his misspellings of your name and everything else. He says, not Jesse. I don't know. Wait, Jesse? No. I don't know. Who's the person? I'm getting it all mixed up here. Drew spelled your name wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's so many comments. This is a good problem to have. Jesse says, also a good morning as well to Evan, who's tuning in as well. Jesse says, for the record, it shouldn't be a requirement, but because of your respect and love for your country, you should be there. Let's roll the clocks back 40 years ago. You wouldn't be embarrassed or even think about not going to an event with this magnitude, pride, respect, maturity, honor, and obedience. Things we are starting to lack in this country. It is a lot deeper than just, they didn't go to the White House. It's true. Unfortunately, I mean, because like I said, people have been skipping out on the White House visits for years. And it's this year, this administration, is why so many people are making a bigger hullabaloo and fuss about it. That's the only reason we're talking about it. You know me. I mean, I barely know who our sitting president is, let alone what a Republican and Democrat. I don't know if anybody knows anymore what that is. But like, I'm the least political person ever. So that's why when this topic came up, I'm like, I think this is going to be a hot topic that people are going to want to talk about. This wasn't me trying to engage it, being like, oh my God, I love a good hot take, love a good political argument. It's not me. You know me. I'm a very non-confrontational person. It's true. I'm not. I really am. Lewis was saying in general. He wasn't saying that. But I still want to know who got the thumb.
I think that's what he's saying. In general, he's giving us thumbs up.
No, he was saying in general, don't mix the sport. Oh, maybe. Gosh, why are you and Luis just like best friends? Like, do I need to? Luis, do you want to just come host the show? Because apparently you and Jaymee are way better friends than we are.
I'm just saying it.
This is ridiculous.
You're just assuming. You don't know what he's saying that to. How do you know?
Luis, clarify, okay, man? I need. Never mind. This is ridiculous. But he does go on to say, unfortunately, in my country, if you make a success, you have to meet the president, like it or not. I'm forgetting where Luis is based out of. I want to say he's down in Peru, but I could be totally wrong about that. Luis, let us know where you're located. I'd love to know, honestly. You were pointing to your screen like you had something to say.
Yeah, but...
Go say it.
No, because he said don't mix sports with politics, and you're saying he's saying in general. Now he's saying that they are mixing sports with politics. So I'm going back to say that he's saying in general he's giving both of us a thumbs up.
Heather, I still want Starbucks. I agree. Jesse also says, you think professional athletes in China, Russia, or somewhere else in Europe would make an important appearance like this in their country? I highly doubt it. It's true. I mean, but I feel like...
That's why this is America.
It's a little different in Russia. A little different in China. North Korea's soccer team does something well, you're going to be there. Otherwise, you won't be playing next year or tomorrow. Like, it's a little different. Trump's not going to go oust the 7 Patriots that didn't show up. Like, Tom Brady's not going to get hung in the public square. Like, somebody might, unfortunately, in one of the smaller, more communistic countries, unfortunately.
Right.
Like, it's a little different. But I get what you're saying, though, and I think sometimes people abuse the whole America, land of the free, home of the brave thing at times. But like I said, not political. I'm getting off my soapbox. I'm done. I'm out of here. Today's 420. Did you know that?
I did.
I mean, anybody that's reading a calendar, I feel like. Are you one of those, like, weird people that are, like, you look at the calendar and you're just like, it's 420.
When I was 15.
Right. I honestly didn't understand the representation of 420 until college, by the way.
I think I was high school, so I wasn't far before you.
Or even like when it's like the clock says 420 and people are like, it's 420. I'm like, okay.
You're saying you said that when you were younger?
I still say that now at times.
I mean, I don't think it's funny anymore because I'm an adult.
Yeah, I'm a grown-ass man. Do what I want.
Yeah.
Get at me. So I checked out a couple of articles to find 8 interesting facts to help you celebrate 420 properly. Because I know, of course, you're always about that, Jaymee, trying to figure out the best ways to get your your Marys, your what is it? What are the kids calling it nowadays? I don't even know.
What?
Marijuana. Like what? I thought there was like a.
Oh, I didn't even know that's what you were trying to make a nickname for.
I'm only 25, but I feel 85 when I talk to Jaymee.
To get you the Marys.
I know that they call it something. What do they call it?
Oh my!
Can't have nice things. I can't. What do they call it? I cannot remember what in the world it's called.
Pot. I don't know. There's a nickname for it.
Yeah, I know it's called pot. I wasn't born in a barn, for God's sake.
Just called it a Mary.
But like people are like, oh, I'm gonna go meet Mary, or like there's some like slang business for it. I can't be the only one. I can't be the only one that knows this. There's something else out there.
You might be the only
You
one.
have to help me
I
figure
think
this
you're
out,
making this
Facebook.
up.
You absolutely have to help me figure this out. So here are some facts to help you celebrate it. So in Canada, in Ontario, in the 60s, marijuana grew freely on one of the highways. That's why the highway is called Highway 420.
Funny.
Apparently, 420 also marks the Phi High Day, where members advocate the non-stereotypical benefits, social and personal advantages of smoking herbs. You're still just laughing at me, aren't you?
Marys.
You're literally crying right now. This is amazing. I know I've done something funny when Jaymee starts to cry.
Oh,
my gosh. Yeah, Liz is on Facebook. She's like, my husband, everybody. Yeah, you know what? I guess I don't know what to say, okay?
Oh, man.
I don't know what to say. Ooh, Jesse says they're probably going to get shot. Yeah, probably. I don't know if I want to keep going back to this, but Jesse also says, yes, happy 420. And he also says, too bad a lot of us can't celebrate. Jeff says 420 is so millennial. Is it? Is it so millennial? Have we been making a bigger distinguish?
Our kids that are born now, they're not millennials, right? Like babies?
No, the kid, like my son is not a millennial. I don't even know what he is. He's a.
When does it stop? Because I
forget what it's called. Is it Generation Y now? I think is or like they should just be the screeners, honestly, with like everyone that just looks at the screens, or like the instant generation.
I feel like 420 isn't a millennial thing. I feel like
Mary Jane. That's what it's
you
called.
were thinking of.
Yes. Thank you, Jeff. I knew
That's
if I needed
like
someone.
That's not a new.
I know. I wasn't saying it was a new. I'm like, what do the people call it? Like, it's Mary Jane. I got to go meet Mary Jane, or I've got a date with Mary Jane.
Oh boy.
Jeff, you're the best. Shivey, not Charles.
Oh
Charles, please.
Okay. He also
Devil's
says
cabbage, apparently too.
I saw that. It is not a millennial thing. It's just a stupid kid thing. Like if you're an adult and you celebrate 420, like shut up. Grow up.
I've heard people in the past that have taken off work.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Like, oh, I'm just gonna spend time.
Just get stoned on a regular Tuesday. It's fine.
Seriously, but nobody wants to be stoned on a regular Tuesday in November.
Take off of work to get stoned because you're not 15.
If you're taking off work to get stoned, you need to check yourself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Now, what if you're
hanging out with your Marys?
What if you're dating Mary Jane, but you're also smoking Mary Jane at the same time? Like, there's a lot.
Still not cool.
What if you mix up your Mary Janes and try to smoke? Anyway, that just gets strange after a while. Tyler, Evan, going back to the coffee statement, says if you just want coffee, Quick Trip has better coffee and it's cheaper.
I'm not buying it, Evan. Heather's supposed to buy it.
Yeah, that's the thing, Evan. We're trying to get Heather to buy a Starbucks. I'm gonna just show up at your work today because you work with Heather, don't you?
I do.
I'm gonna just show up this morning and be like.
Could I have my coffee?
But for real, though, Heather. Steve's tuning in as well. Good to see you, Steve. A very good morning to you, sir. I want Starbucks. But I also, like I said, I will, if you come back and watch halftime today at 11 Central, noon Eastern, I will have a rainbow unicorn Care Bear drink this morning. Like, I will go and buy one. But my only concern is that it's going to not be like, I feel like I have to buy it like 20 minutes before the show, but I don't know where the closest Starbucks is to the studio, so I'm gonna have to send a team of interns out. Probably, I'm assuming closer to where you work is probably, and that's not that far away, I guess.
No.
So I can get that, put it in the fridge, and that way I can have it out. And Tanner's gonna yell at me too. I'll probably buy him one too. Be like, Tanner, drink this. What if you had a unicorn? What if you're drinking your unicorn drink and you're meeting Mary Jane? Like, that's got to be the biggest trip ever. Be like, well, this Starbucks drink is turning colors.
That's not what marijuana. That's not what the Marys do for you, Baxter.
Doesn't it?
That's what like shrooms and acid do.
Moments like this where I'm thankful I was homeschooled, so that way I don't understand.
Oh boy. Your wife isn't going to agree with your unicorn.
She doesn't. No.
Consumption.
Heather says, I can't bring Starbucks today. I'm taking the day off. What the hell, Heather?
Mm-mm.
I'm going to find you. Josh says apparently it's more of a Gen X and before thing for smoking weed. That's the thing. I'm like, I thought it was more so like, I mean, the 70s, 80s, 90s, I mean, that's when like the 420s I thought was the most prevalent and most
but
prominent.
Jeff's saying it's a millennial thing to make it a thing. It was already a thing before we were born because you stoner asses.
You think Jeff smoked back in the day?
Probably.
I mean, everybody smoked back in the day. I'm sure my parents smoked.
Spoken like...
What?
Nothing, I just reading comments.
No, go ahead, say it.
Jeff says spoken like an expert. Jaymee? Yes.
I mean, when she flips her hair, you know that she's telling the truth. Like, duh. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, Liz says, no, don't drink the unicorn. So much sugar. Artificial flavors, diabetes in a cup. Well, I mean, if there's a way to go, I guess that might be the way to go. And it's not about me. It's for the people. It's all about giving the people what they want. I would never purposely go out and buy one, but I would do it to give the people what they want. Right? Is that how that works?
Are we talking about unicorn drinks or smoking pot?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I will not smoke pot on the show. I think we can get away with a lot of crazy shit, but I don't think I can do that. You can drink on the air, but I mean, if you come in tomorrow with like, a gram of cocaine, I'm not going to be like, all right, line her up, Jaymee. Like, we can't do that. I mean, I hit Tanner in the face with a reflector, and then he duct taped me, and things went from there. But like, I don't think we can get away with that.
Yeah.
I think I might actually, okay. I might be called into the office to get a meeting after that.
That's okay. I don't want to bring in a gram of cocaine.
True. Sabrina says apparently having a, I keep forgetting the name of it.
Unicorn drink?
Thank you. The unicorn drink is the equivalent of eating 3 Snickers bars. Wow phase, cover my face with a monkey, and cover my mouth with a monkey.
I would rather eat 3 Snickers.
See, I couldn't do that. I can barely get through 1 candy bar. And my wife makes fun of me for this because she's like, you can't like ever have chocolate. And like, I do. Like, I like chocolate. What are you doing?
Keep going. You'll see in a minute. Keep going.
People talking about my lobster shirt? What's
you asked me if it was Eiffel Towers.
They're lobsters. I'll show you. They're lobsters. See? Lobsters. They're not Eiffel Towers. Unbelievable.
How did you even see that? It was a quick glance.
Because I'm looking at you. I'm having a conversation with you, and all of a sudden you give me the little like, it's like what guys do when they like do the quick little like, oh, nice boobs. Like, would you have noticed that as a girl? Like when guys give you the little like boop business?
Probably.
Maybe because people don't look at my...
Probably not, because I don't really show much boobs.
But yes, Jesse, they are red lobsters.
Or red Eiffel Towers.
Or red Eiffel Towers, I guess, depending on how stoned you are on 420. Louise says, God bless sugar. I don't even know what I was saying anymore. Liz says, he was homeschooled, Jaymee, we love him. Yes, I was. Only for 9 years, by the way. People make this seem like I was homeschooled since I was born. I went to private Catholic school. That's how I found out about sex, drugs, and alcohol, okay? Those Catholics, they get wild because they're like the rejects and nobody wants them. So I learned all about the craziness. The guys were coming to school hammered at 16 years old, and I'm like, what the...
That happens in public school too, Baxter. Maybe that's just a Sheboygan thing, but...
Probably. I mean, you live in Sheboygan. How great can life actually be? You have to get stoned.
Fine.
Was it? Because you were drunk and stoned?
I did not drink until my senior year of high school.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. Mm-hmm. I would have definitely lost that bet if you had been like, I started drinking before you did.
Yeah, I was a good kid.
Mm-hmm. I've never smoked.
Me either.
Really?
No.
I was about to say, I was like, just the way you said, like, I could always tell now when you're lying. She's like, yeah, me either. I'm like, didn't you though? I feel like you did. I didn't smoke, but my roommate, freshman year of college, smoked enough for the two of us, where I literally just would have to walk in the room and just be like,
in college, you said?
Wow. Yeah. And thankfully, he was only the first semester. But seriously, like, there was like this cloud that would hang out in our room, and I would watch him roll, and I'm like, we're gonna get in trouble. I'm like, we both get collectively in trouble for this because it's in our room. So I never was there. I'm like, you can't blame me. I'm not here. Didn't do it. But like, I would literally walk in and be like, I'm hungry. Why? I'm like, what's going on? I have the munchies all of a sudden. It's amazing. My Lord. My Lord, my Lord. What else? What else can we compare? So I started drinking before you did, because I'm also Italian though. So I mean that, I've been drinking since I was like 7.
Yeah.
I've been having wine since I was like 7, basically. Yeah.
I don't know what else we can compare right now.
What else can we compare to? I don't know.
I drink later and I'm more immature now, and you drink sooner and you have a cute little family. So drink sooner if you're going to learn anything from the morning brew.
Drink sooner.
The earlier you drink, the more successful you are and have your life together at 25. Otherwise, you'll turn out like me.
And you can have red lobsters on your shirt. Jesse's just laughing at me. And Heather also says, I actually just laughed out loud. Good one, Jaymee.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I did not start drinking until I was a senior, if that's what we're getting at. I swear.
I'm assuming you probably... Josh says, the more you know with the rainbow. It's become my catchphrase, hasn't it? The more you know, Jaymee. The more you know. I tell that to Tanner as well, too, because it's true, though. The more you know, the more you know. Like, the more successful you are. Like, the more you...
There's a lot of smart people with a lot of stupid, like, facts in their head.
It's true. Are you calling me stupid?
No.
Calling me smart?
Sure.
No, I'm just curious. I'm just trying to figure out how to file that comment away.
I mean, like my brother Spencer, right? He's a smart kid, but he knows, like...
I always forget about your brothers.
He's got an infinite, like... The kid knows everything about...
Sports.
You could be like, what do red-bellied geckos eat for breakfast? And you'd be like, earthworms. And for lunch, they have crickets.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he knows stupid stuff.
Right. I do know a lot of random stupid stuff as well, too.
Do you?
I do. I mean, Ponce de Leon never found the Fountain of Youth in Florida. Did you know that?
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah.
So no.
And I didn't even go to public school.
We were too busy taking standardized testing to learn fun facts.
Yeah, how'd that work out for you? Liz says, you can't compare female maturity to male maturity. We will always be more mature.
I don't agree with that.
Thank you. Thank you. My God, this is amazing. So, speaking of, we've talked about sex, we've talked about drugs, we've talked about alcohol, in actual real context to all of this.
Yeah.
All of that usually revolves around one sort of a celebration, correct?
Yep.
You have no idea where I'm going with this,
Nope.
do you? My gosh. How long have we been doing this together, Jaymee? You should know. Like, I think besides...
weddings!
Hey!
Got it! Got
Way
it.
to go. Way to get it together. So, CNBC came out with an article recently. It is almost wedding season. I've got a couple of weddings that I'm in. I'm actually a groomsman for the first time twice this year, which is kind of crazy. So, I mean, dab on that. Like, that's exciting. Never been a groomsman before. Been an usher. Been the groom, but never been a groomsman before. I get to be a groomsman in my friend Corey's wedding, and then my dad's getting married as well, too, in September. I'm a groomsman son. Is my groom's son for him? Does that make sense?
I think you'd still be a groomsman.
I think so. I guess I just don't know. I've never thought I'd actually be standing up in my father's wedding.
Yeah.
Kind of a weird thing when you think about it, but that's irrelevant to the conversation. However, so it's wedding season. You talked to me off the air yesterday. You showed me a cute little dress you bought for the wedding that you're going to at the end of May as well, too. So I saw this article from CNBC about how giving gifts, of course, at weddings is what you do, right? If you're not the groom and the bride, you should be getting gifts. That's what you do. You get a card, you get money, you get gift cards, KitchenAid, all that fun stuff. Maybe James Harden doing the KitchenAid, like whatever you want to do. For those that understand the reference, you're like, well done, thank you, I try. Anyway, so CNBC came out with this article about the national average for how much money people spend to give a gift. It's ridiculous.
I agree.
$160 is the national average for a gift that you give at a wedding.
I feel like that makes me feel cheap.
That's the thing. I was talking to my wife about this last night. I was like, I don't think we've ever given more than $100.
Yeah.
I don't even know if we've ever given $100. Now that I think about it.
I think the best wedding gift I ever got at a wedding I stood up in, I bought him a new vacuum cleaner.
Oh.
But it was like Kohl's on sale,
Yeah.
plus 30% off, plus whatever, like Kohl's cash. It was like $100.
Plus you winked at the cashier and you took another $20
Yeah.
off. And you're like, okay.
But that was probably the most expensive. But stuff that people want for their weddings too, like mixing bowls, they're pretty expensive. Like serving
true.
ware is expensive.
Yeah.
And like, so I can see how that can happen quickly, but man, use that Kohl's cash.
Seriously, I'm all about that Kohl's cash. Like, that was the greatest part about college is my grandma, because she was helping me, like, be clothed and in general survive college. She's like, yeah, here's my Kohl's charge. I'm like, ugh. So I always joked that I would be naked without my grandma, which is true. Now, actually, that I'm a grown man and I have my own money, like,
right.
I'm not naked because of my own money, but still. More so because of my wife, because she's like, wear that, pick that. I'm like, okay, great, thank you. That's how I got this. I mean, I don't think I ever would have walked up to a lobster shirt and be like, gotta have it, kind of thing. My wife was like, you look cute in that. I'm like, okay. And I got a lobster pocket. Like, come on. I want to go to the Red Lobster now and like wear this shirt and be like, I'm ready. Got my Red Lobster shirt on. Anyway, so going back to this, the article breaks it down based off of the time of year when people spend the most money, the states that spend the most money, the state that spends the least amount of money. Vermont. The national average, the statewide average for gift giving in Vermont is $245.
That's a lot.
You can do a lot of things with $245. Why are you doing that for a wedding gift? Like, there's some nice stuff out there, but like not $245.
Right.
Like, I don't even know what you would buy for $245. Like, KitchenAids aren't that expensive, and those are usually a high caliber. Like, whoa, you're giving me a KitchenAid. Like, that's amazing. But what, like pots and pans, knives? Like, are you just giving like 13 gifts for a wedding, and that it all adds up to $240? It
says that Arkansas's the lowest average was $73. That's way more.
Because it's Arkansas.
Yeah, but you just said that you don't know if you've even spent $100 on something.
I don't think we have. I mean, Liz, if you're still watching, which I think you are, I mean, do you remember some of the things that we've given? I don't remember, honestly, but like, and I guess for my wife and I, for our wedding, we got a mixture of appliances and presents, but we also got a ton of cash as well, too. Like, and I guess as someone that will enter that realm someday, soon, hopefully. For you, maybe. I have no idea. Good luck. But like, maybe you and Harold should just get married. I'm sure that's legal somewhere. But like, would you prefer lots of cash, or would you prefer the appliances?
I think it would depend if living separately. Well, that's the thing too, is I feel like even though you live separately, you still have a lot of crap, right? Like, you're still gonna have to like condense and like combine and whatever. I don't want to say cash because I feel like I would spend it on something silly. But maybe I would prefer cash and just let my husband take the money, because not take it, but like decide what to do with it, because I'm not the best. But if you were to like use it on like, like if you live together already, right? You already have your plates and your silverware and your towels and like whatever else people ask for their weddings, to like maybe live in an apartment and people throw you money and you have a couple G's to throw it on a house. Like, I think that's reasonable.
Well, and that's what happened to my wife and I too. We went to. She got our apartment a month before we got married. So I finished college. She moved into our apartment. We had a couple of basic things, but then like I think she had like two bridal showers, and then we had two separate, like we had our actual wedding, and then we had another reception for all of our folks here in Wisconsin as well too, because they didn't all travel to our venue in Florida. So we got.
Oh, you guys got married in Florida.
We got married in Florida, yeah, down at the resort that my mom lives in. It was gorgeous. I can show you pictures at some point. It was gorgeous. It was beautiful. Anyway. I'm sorry, I get super excited about my wedding day because it was amazing. But we got a mixture of good things. Like, we literally took the money and the gift cards from our wedding, and we used that to basically fund our honeymoon. We'd already booked our honeymoon at that point, but like we literally didn't have to spend any of our own money actually there for food, because we used the gift cards people gave us, we used the money they gave us, and we actually still had a surplus when we left. Be like, oh great, like we still have money. We didn't lose anything, like, because sometimes people spend way too much on their honeymoons. But we also got a bunch of really great things to outfit our kitchen and our house and everything. So I guess it just depends on a lot of those things, I guess, on the situation that you're in. And some people know that, obviously. Like, you're living by yourself right now.
Right.
If you were to get married, I mean, would you then and your boyfriend, would you move in together before you get married? Like, there's a lot of different things.
And, like, I have enough stuff to
outfit
furnish.
Yourself.
Right. And I would assume that the person I am marrying does not live at home. Yeah, so then he probably, hopefully, has some stuff of his own.
True.
But
yeah, looking at some of the comments here, Josh says $160 average, might have to get a divorce and then get married again. Yeah, seriously, Josh. Be like, some of those things you gotta figure out. And Jeff says East and West Coasts always throw off all of those types of surveys. Louise says, just FYI, in this place, $50 is a lot of money at his age. Yeah, I do agree with you on that one. I mean, even for me, that is a full-time working adult. I mean, if somebody says they're going to pay me $50 to do something, I'm usually like, oh, great.
Right.
Sure. I mean, obviously $100 is a little bit more respectable, but still, like, I think that's a very interesting fact, Louise. Thanks for sharing that. And Jesse also says, fun fact, rain on your wedding day is considered good luck in some cultures, symbolizing fertility and cleansing. I mean, it poured on it was, how does that work, though? Because my wedding day was sunny, but as soon as we got inside for the reception, then it downpoured. Does the rules still apply? It was still my wedding day.
I think you're still okay.
I think so. I wanted to just double check on that, because I would hate to have the misconception about whether or not, my life is going to be fertile and exciting. That's not actually the case. We've been answering the question all day. If you're just tuning in, for those of you that are watching and are still watching, it's great to see all of you, of course. We love the comments. Keep the craziness coming this morning. We've been asking 2 questions all day, along with the other things we've talked about. Will you drink the Starbucks unicorn drink? And should players be required to attend the White House visits? We got a pile of comments about the White House visit, so thank you to all of you that did that. Starbucks drink. I'm going to try one. I'm going to buy one for Tanner as well, too, just to put him through it as well. You said you probably aren't going to get one. No. What if somebody bought it for you? Because some people are like,
I would try it.
Some people are like that. They're like, I would never buy one, but if it was bought for me,
I would try it, but I wouldn't want to drink it.
And that's the thing. I had no intention of doing this until, like I said, our good friend Aaron was like, "Hey,
right,
I'm going to do this." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool. Cheers." Excited about it. I mean, whatever. You're going to have to help me set up like my super basic like Instagram post to do that.
I'll help you out.
So, all right. Well, this has been fun. It's 4:20. It's almost time for us to be out of here. Any final thoughts? I mean, technically we're supposed to have a yes drama, but I think you dramaed us up pretty much with your thoughts about the White House and the players as a whole too. I mean, and even Starbucks as a whole too. So we got a lot of drama out there. I don't know if you have any other dramas. I mean, you want a minute for Hockey Fast? You said there was a sweep last night.
There was a sweep. The Ducks swept the Flames.
Woo!
Yep.
Adios, Calgary. You could say the flame got extinguished.
Ooh. You guys were watching last night, too. The, what game was it? The Maple Leafs Capitals game was pretty,
Who won?
Capitals did, which they shouldn't have,
Tied
because
it
there
too.
was at one point where it was 4-on-1 and they gave him the puck and he scored right away. It was stupid.
But Jaymee, you don't know anything about hockey though, right?
No.
From what I've been told from social media.
Yeah.
You know, tell people to stay in the crease and all that other stuff.
Oh yeah, goaltending and
stuff. Jaymee doesn't know a thing about sports.
Probably because I'm a girl. But anyways, so if you're bored tonight, 7 p.m., Predators are about to sweep the Blackhawks. I told my boss. Did I tell you guys this already?
That you're not going to work? Or then you're wearing your jersey?
I'm wearing my jersey.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And then I asked Michelle, I was like, can we put the sound on, please?
But it's an Irish pub. I don't care.
Yeah.
Sweep,
he's
baby,
like, the Bucks are on. I'm like, no, this game is irrelevant.
Bucks are definitely not on tonight.
Yeah, they are. I think they played home.
They play back. They just played last night.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. They play Friday
No,
night.
they played Tuesday.
Oh, you're right. Oh, son of a gun. Whatever. Irrelevant to the question.
But, okay, like, you can, like, this isn't like a game. Like, if they win tonight or they lose tonight, the Bucks, they can still play Saturday or whatever day they would play. The Predators could sweep the Blackhawks, which is huge. So.
Crazy.
So. I'm so nervous.
Get excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. It'll be a good time. Absolutely. Last look at the comments here before we get out of here. Jesse says, yep, rain on your wedding day. You're good to go, basically. It doesn't matter if it rains during the ceremony or just the day as a whole. So May 30th on my wedding anniversary, it rained that whole day. Well, not the whole day. It rained for a couple hours, so I'm good to go. And Bill says, I don't think you struggle with fertility there, Baxter. Crying face, crying face. Yes. Yeah, I have a 5-month-old son. Fertility is not one that I struggle with, apparently. So there you go. The more you know. I didn't think I'd talk about my fertility today. But yes, we're good to go, apparently. Louise also says, well, I'm watching you guys in my office with a big glass of Red Bull. And he also says, I've been in the office since 7 a.m. Gotta understand, of course. And then Jesse wants to know, is it a coffee, a cappuccino, a frappuccino? It's the frappuccino.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the Starbucks Unicorn Frappuccino. Some people are calling it Unicorn Fart. Some people are calling it all kinds of weird, racy things. I don't know. I'm going to have one. If you want to know what it looks like and what it sounds like and what it tastes like, you can come back at 11 a.m. Central Time here on Brew Sports. I'm going to have one. I'm going to get one for Tanner to make him drink it as well, and I think we'll see what happens. I'll probably have a beer as well, too, because it's Thursday, which is almost a Friday, so therefore it's Thirsty Thursday. At least on halftime, it's Thirsty Thursday. I noticed that you and I don't ever do anything rebellious in our show, which is probably better.
Because I'm so clean-cut and boring.
I mean, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't say you're boring. I just say that you have different priorities with your life.
It's also 8 o'clock in the morning now.
You can get pretty rambunctious and wild in the morning, can't you?
No. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But
whatever.
It's the morning.
It's
I'm an
true.
adult now.
It's the morning brew. I'm Jaymee. That's Baxter. Anyway.
Are you mocking me?
Never! You guys are the best. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We'll be back here again tomorrow, so make sure to tune in at 8 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Central Time, live right here on Brew Sports. Find us on social media at Jaymee_Evers, at Baxter Colburn, Twitter and Instagram, of course, at Brew Sports Net. Give us the thoughts, give us the feelings, give us it all. If you still haven't answered the question and you're coming back and watching this episode later, let us know your opinions. Will you drink the Starbucks Unicorn drink, and should players be required to attend the White House visits? Amazing comments from all of you today. So many people tuned in. So many people gave their opinions. Just an absolutely amazing show. It really was.
It was.
So thank you to all of you for making it so much more exciting and so much more enjoyable today. She's Jaymee Evers. I'm Baxter Colburn. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you tomorrow for our final episode of the week. This has been The Morning Brew, live on Brew Sports. We'll see you next time.
That was good today.